Why did you make the suggestion to Jamie to go inside the school today?
I was planning to murder him.
This is 14 years old Michael Hernandez. He was a seemingly quiet, intelligent, and well-behaved middle school student in Southwood Middle School, but with a deeply disturbed private side.
Please raise your right hand and swear you in. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Viewers are advised that this content may contain discussions of crime, mental health, and legal proceedings that could be distressing to some audiences. We do not show anyone getting hurt during the videos.
Mike, just do me a favor. When you talk clearly so that Ms. Renee can understand you. Okay?
He's now in this interrogation for being a prime suspect of murder. His classmate, 14 years old, Jaime Goff, was considered his closest friend at the time.
The easiest out of anybody because he would have followed me because we're such good friends.
None of his peers suspected his intentions. He acted normal and friendly at school right up until the day of the murder. Before we go into the journal where he detailed plans to kill friends and classmates, we will go to find out how this most chilling case starts. It was a Tuesday morning of February 3rd, 2004 at Southwood Middle School in Palmetto Bay, Florida. Students were arriving for class like any normal day. Among them was 14-year-old Michael Hernandez, a quiet 8th grader in the school's gifted program. But unlike his classmates, Hernandez wasn't thinking about schoolwork. He was putting into action a murder plan he'd been preparing for more than a week.
Do you make any suggestions to Jamie that you and him go into the school early this morning?
Yes, I did.
And about what time was that you suggested that both of you go inside?
A little after 8:30, maybe like 8:31 or 35, between those times.
What time does school open and are students allowed inside the school?
8:50.
Did Jamie agree to your suggestion to go inside when you made that to him?
We had to make a deal first because he didn't want to get in trouble because we've gotten in trouble on previous times when we've attempted to go up there.
And why do you get in trouble for attempting to go inside the school?
Because it's too early and we shouldn't be walking around upstairs.
I see. Why did you make the suggestion to Jamie to go inside the school today?
Hernandez had written in his private notebook a detailed plan to kill two of his closest friends, Jaime Goff, 14, and Andre Martin, 13. He had even chosen the place, the second-floor boys' bathroom at school.
Do you know why you were going to do this?
No, I don't.
Now, what was your plan? How were you going to accomplish this?
I was going to get him into the stall, the last stall because it's the biggest, so I'd have more room.
Now, this is in a restroom?
This is the restroom.
On which floor?
Second floor.
Okay, and it's the male restroom?
Yes, it is.
Where is it near?
It is near the media center and the gifted U.S. history class.
And once you brought or got Jamie in there, how were you going to bring him or lure him into the restroom?
We usually go to the restroom after we get upstairs so we don't get caught by security.
Okay.
And so I knew that was gonna work. I got him into the stall by saying, look, I have something to show you. So I got him into the stall and I told him to turn around because I wanted it to be a surprise. Before that, put on the gloves. He saw me put on the gloves and I said,
Oh, you're going too fast.
And I said, I like them because they're comfortable.
He brought with him that morning a gravity knife with a 4-inch serrated blade, latex gloves to avoid fingerprints, a dark jacket and hat to keep his clothes clean and prevent hair from falling on the scene. He also carried a backup pair of gloves and a windbreaker to hide any blood stains.
Now, you also said that you put on gloves. What kind of gloves were these?
They were latex gloves.
Where did you get them from?
My mother purchased them at Walgreens the previous night.
Why did she purchase these? Was that at your request?
It was at my request because I said that I needed them for extra credit for my science class.
That morning around 8:30 a.m., a student walked into the second-floor boys' bathroom and noticed something strange. Michael Hernandez was at the sink washing his hands. In the mirror's reflection, the student saw what looked like a body on the floor inside one of the stalls, with blood visible.
Now, you and him are already in the stall, correct?
Yes, yes.
Did he go into the stall first?
Yes.
Did you follow him?
Yes, I did.
Did you close the stall door?
Yes, I did.
Now, what transpired next?
Okay. I was talking to him and I told him, all right, now, I have to put my hand over your mouth.
Okay.
And so I did, and I lifted his neck up.
Now, was he facing you or was he away from
He
you?
was away from me.
Did you put your hand over his mouth?
Yes, I did.
And which hand did you use to put over his mouth?
My left hand.
Once you did that, what happened next?
I had already before I put my hand over his mouth, I already put my knife out. So the blade was already out.
Now, where had you kept this blade?
I had kept it in my jacket pocket.
And what color jacket did you have on today?
I had a red jacket.
Now, is this the same clothing that you're wearing?
Yes.
Did Jamie say or do anything? Did he put up a struggle?
Yes, he did. He turned around after I did that. He asked me not to kill him. So I told him, okay, I'm not going to if you cooperate.
Okay.
Which was a lie.
Right.
And so I realized that the stall door was open, so I locked it.
Yes.
And then I turned him around again and proceeded to stab him.
And where did you stab him, Mike?
I'm not positively sure, but I'm guessing around the jugular vein right around here. That's
Okay.
what I was aiming for.
Did you stab him anywhere else on his body?
Just basically the back of the neck all through the neck.
Okay.
And once in the temple, and I think I sliced it here.
And that would be on the left side of his face?
Yes, the other side.
The shocked student asked Michael, "Did you see that?" Michael calmly said, "Yeah, we should tell somebody." Then he walked out and returned to class as if nothing happened. Moments later, school officials entered and found the body of Jaime Goff lying in a stall with stab wounds to his neck and face. They locked down the school and called 911 immediately. Within minutes, Miami-Dade police and crime scene investigators arrived. They found the victim, Jaime, inside the handicapped stall, lying on the floor. His throat had been deeply cut and he had multiple stab wounds to the neck and face. Blood was pooled on the floor, smeared across the stall and near the toilet. His backpack was found beside him, partly soaked in blood.
Now, after you did that, what happened?
I took my gloves off and I flushed them down the toilet.
Okay.
Okay. I left and I went to go clean myself off. People were coming in, and so I left that bathroom and went to the other one downstairs.
Okay, let me stop you here. After you stabbed him, did Jamie fall to the commode or to the toilet?
No, he did not. He was already positioned at.
Investigators noticed blood spatters on the walls and floor showing Jaime had tried to defend himself, but there was no sign of forced entry, meaning the attacker was someone Jaime trusted. And as we already know, blood on Michael's jacket and glove matched Jaime Goff's DNA. There were no other suspects' prints or DNA in the bathroom, only Jaime's and Michael's. After that, detectives quietly removed Michael from class to avoid causing panic. He was taken to the principal's office, where police waited for his parents to arrive. He appeared calm, polite, and emotionless, answering routine questions. Later that evening, at the police station, Michael was read his Miranda rights and agreed to talk.
He was already positioned where he was found. I put his head under there to stop him from gasping for air.
Okay.
So we'll close it up. And
Oh, I see. Okay, now. I'm sorry?
so he would stop making noise.
Okay. Now, how did you know he was dead?
I made sure by taking my knife, the point of my knife, and poking him in the face.
All
And I
right.
checked his eyes also, and they were motionless.
Okay. Now, when he fell, was he on his front, or was he on his side, or on his back? Do you remember?
He was on his front,
Okay.
faced at a kind of diagonal thing.
Yes.
There was blood coming from his mouth
Mhm.
to the right of the toilet. And I guess there might have been blood in the toilet. And there was
Okay.
blood on the walls.
All right. What did you do with the knife and the jacket?
I put the knife was broken because of the stab wounds and I couldn't close it back. So I closed it as much as I could and I put it in my jacket pocket.
Okay.
I proceeded to go to the sink and I wiped some of the blood off the jacket, took the jacket off. No, I did not.
Oh. Had you gone up there actually to check to see if Jamie was okay?
No, I did not.
It was strictly to check on your ring?
My ring, yes.
And why did you want to recover your ring?
Because I value my jewelry.
Do people know that you wear that type of ring?
Yes, many people know I wear this type of jewelry.
Could someone have identified you because of the lost ring?
Yes, they could have identified this ring, definitely.
Okay. When you went back upstairs to go back or into the bathroom to look for your ring,
Yes.
who is the individual that told you someone was in the stall?
I'm not sure of his name.
Had you had planned to do this to Jamie?
Yes, I did.
How long have you had this plan?
A little under a week.
And is there any specific reason why you planned this?
No, there's not. And I knew he would have followed me in there and done what I would have said.
Okay. Now, I asked you about an individual named Andre Martin.
Yes.
Do you know Andre?
Yes, I do.
How old is Andre?
He is 13.
What grade is Andre in?
He's in 8th grade.
Is he a friend of yours?
Yes, he is.
Is he in any of your classes?
No, he's not.
How long have you known Andre?
I have known him since about the 4th or 5th grade.
And I know you told me earlier that usually you and Andre and Jamie hang out.
Yes,
At
at the north part of the parking lot.
Yes, at the fence, correct. Calling your attention to yesterday, Monday, your birthday.
My birthday.
Did there come a time when you approached Andre with the same type of ruse?
Yeah, yes, there was. Me, Andre, Jamie, and myself were in the bathroom.
Which bathroom?
We were in the other bathroom than where the victim was found today.
What were your intentions yesterday?
My intentions yesterday were to kill Andre. The same way that I killed Jamie today, except for the fact that I was going to stab him in the back and stab here, and that would have been it.
Who was this you were going to do it to?
I was going to do this to Andre.
On videotape, he confessed to everything in shocking, matter-of-fact detail. I think this is one of the reasons why it shocked the nation. Hernandez was only 14 years old, yet planned and executed a murder with chilling precision. He showed no remorse during interrogation. The victim was his best friend, killed purely for the thrill and curiosity of it.
I took the knife out, and I proceeded to slit his throat. I did not take the jacket off at that point. I just waited to get the blood off.
Okay.
I proceeded to go downstairs to the other bathroom on the first floor. I then wiped myself off with all the stuff off my face and the stuff off my jacket. Then I took the jacket off and put it in my book bag.
Now, you said that you had flushed some gloves
Yes.
down the toilet.
There were two. I flushed 2 gloves.
2 gloves. How many pair of gloves did you have?
I had 2 pair, 4 gloves in all.
Where did you keep the other pair of gloves?
In the jacket pocket where I kept the knife.
All right. Now, before you gloved up this morning in the bathroom, did you remove any of your jewelry?
I removed my rings because they would have cut through the latex glove.
Okay. Did anything unusual, or did you notice anything unusual when you put your hand in your jacket pocket after the incident?
Yes, one of my rings was missing.
And which ring was that?
It was the ring on my right ring finger.
So, what did you do?
I went back upstairs to find the ring. There was a witness there saying that someone was in that stall. I went to go look, having known what was there. And I saw my ring and picked it up and then left.
Okay. Had you gone up there actually to check to see if Jamie was okay?
No, I did not.
It was strictly to check on your ring.
My ring, yes.
And why did you want to recover your ring?
Because I value my jewelry.
Okay.
It's very interesting to note how much more Michael's ring meant to him than his dying friend. This detail speaks volumes about exactly how Michael's mind works, namely that he possesses a disturbing disregard for the lives of others.
Do people know that you wear that type of ring?
Yes, many people know I wear this type of jewelry.
Could someone have identified you because of the lost ring?
Yes, they could have identified this ring, definitely.
Okay. When you went back upstairs to go back or into the bathroom to look for your ring,
Yes.
who is the individual that told you someone was in the stall?
I'm not sure of his name.
Had you had planned to do this to Jamie?
Yes, I did.
How long have you had this plan?
A little under a week.
And is there any specific reason why you planned this?
No, there's not.
Why did you choose Jamie, your friend?
He was the easiest out of anybody because he would have followed me because we're such good friends. And I knew he would have followed me in there and done what I would have said.
Okay. Now, I asked you about an individual named Andre Martin.
Yes.
Do you know Andre?
Yes, I do.
How old is Andre?
He is 13.
What grade is Andre in?
He's in 8th grade.
Is he a friend of yours?
Yes, he is.
Is he in any of your classes?
No, he's not.
How long have you known Andre?
I have known him since about the 4th or 5th grade.
And I know you told me earlier that usually you and Andre and Jamie hang out.
Yes,
At
at the north part of the parking lot.
At the fence, correct. Calling your attention to yesterday, Monday, your birthday. Did there come a time when you approached Andre with the same type of ruse?
Yeah, yes, there was. Me, Andre, Jamie, and myself were in the bathroom.
Which bathroom?
We were in the other bathroom than where the victim was found today.
Because of the cold, calculated nature of the crime and his detailed planning, prosecutors charged him as an adult, even though he was only 14. Over the next months, Michael underwent multiple mental health evaluations. He was found to have obsessive-compulsive disorder, depression, and a fascination with serial killers. However, experts agreed he understood what he did was wrong, meaning he was legally competent to stand trial.
And this was an unprovoked attack on Jamie?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Sir, has everything you told me been true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it has.
Have I forced you to give this statement,
No,
sir?
you have not.
Have I treated you gentlemanly?
Yes, you have.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
Okay.
After years of legal proceedings delayed by competency hearings and appeals, in 2008 a jury found him guilty on all charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole plus 30 years for the attempted murder, Andre Martin. Well, the case didn't end there. More new information. The resentencing happened after the U.S. Supreme Court's 2012 ruling in Miller v. Alabama, which banned mandatory life without parole sentences for juveniles. At this hearing in 2015, Michael Hernandez, 26 at the time, testified for the first time.
I was mad one day. That's all it was. I love you.
You admit what you did was wrong, right?
What I did was wrong.
Oh, today you're saying that.
I've said it for a long time.
Did you ever tell your sister Christina while she was on your list?
No, we were told never to discuss the case.
You never told her.
I was following the advice of my attorney.
How about you tell her now? She's sitting in court.
I had I love you. And I had absolutely no intent to ever do anything to you. I was mad one day. That's all it was. I love you.
Finally, despite the new hearing, the judge reimposed a life sentence with the condition that Hernandez could seek parole after 25 years. The judge cited his lack of genuine remorse and the continued fascination with violence while incarcerated. On February 17, 2021, Michael Hernandez, age 31, was found collapsed and unresponsive at Columbia Correctional Institution in Lake City, Florida. The Florida Department of Corrections confirmed his death. The FDLE investigated. Officials said there were no signs of foul play. Early reports suggested a possible drug overdose. In the end, 2 families were changed forever. One lost a son, and the other lost one too, in a different way. Michael Hernandez spent more than half his life behind bars before his own story ended in a Florida prison. Jaime Goff's memory, however, continues to live on through those who loved him. If you believe stories like this should never be forgotten, make sure to subscribe and share. Every lesson told could help prevent another tragedy. Disclaimer: this video was created for documentary purposes. All footage, recordings, and statements are used under fair use for the purpose of reporting, commentary, and public awareness. The goal is to promote understanding of real-world justice, not to glorify or encourage violence in any form. Every individual mentioned is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. All information is based on public records and verified reports. This video does not provide legal advice. Do not rely on the information in this presentation without speaking to a licensed attorney.